Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Live with Ty. Today's guest is known as an unstoppable force on the court by coaches and players alike, and is a reigning Patriot League Player of the Year. Please give a warm welcome to our next guest, Caitlin Weimar. Usually hanging out at or above the rim, Caitlin has decided to come back down to earth to sit with us in studio today. Caitlin, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So to get things started, why basketball?
Obviously I'm 6'4", and I've been tall my whole life, so that kind of pushed me into the sport at a young age. And then also my brother played sports, my dad played sports. My dad actually coached my brother, and I would just always be at their practices, and I just wanted to start playing. So at a young age, I just decided to play rec, and then it just went on from there.
So given that he's your older brother?
Older brother.
So you're the baby of the family.
I am the baby
How was
of
that?
the family.
You're not the guinea pig.
It's pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. I do like being the baby, and especially the only girl, it does kind of help. But I love growing up with an older brother too. He's always just been there for me. I'm kind of like a leader and like a protector of me. So I'm really grateful to have him. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now fast forward to Hendrick Hudson High School. That's where you played, right?
Yes.
So where your athletic director said in an article I was reading that you were the greatest girls basketball player ever to come from that program. Hearing that kind of about yourself, I know it's way back then. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. Obviously, I loved going to high school there. I loved the staff there, and they're just such great people. So hearing them speak so highly of me kind of just made me feel really great about myself, kind of gave me a lot of confidence to just pursue things that I really wanted to and just be the best I can, and it just means a lot. I love my athletic trainer there. I still talk to her to this day, so that just means a lot, yeah.
So actually a lot of you guys watching might not know, but Caitlin also played volleyball for a while as well. So what gave basketball the upper hand? Because you were just as dominant on the volleyball court as well.
Yeah, from where I come from, volleyball is huge. It's not really basketball.
And where is that again?
It's Westchester, New York,
Westchester.
like an hour north of the city. It's a big volleyball town. There's a volleyball complex there. So I always started off playing basketball my whole life, and then I kind of transitioned to volleyball just to play. Obviously, I'm tall. The coach really liked that. And then I really fell in love with volleyball too. But my passion has always been with basketball. So I just kind of recentered back to basketball after that. But
yeah, back where the heart is.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. So given the success you had in high school, you were super highly recruited coming out. But then you went to Mars College. So why that decision? Why not go somewhere bigger? I know it's close to where you live. Did that play something into it?
That played a huge role, actually.
Okay. I was thinking. I didn't know for sure.
Same wavelength. So Marist was actually my first offer. And I really had a great connection with the coaches. Since it was that close, I was always going up there to watch games and to visit. So I think I kind of felt a connection from the start there that really led me to keep that throughout my whole recruiting and leading me to commit there. It's a beautiful campus, great people. It's small, but yeah, that was probably my main reasoning to just stick with that. Yeah.
Well, it seems like a great decision. When you first went to Mars College, you won Rookie of the Year. You were on the all-rookie team, and then you also made a run to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So did you expect to have that much of an immediate impact your first year in college? That's big stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not expect. It's kind of something you have to go into, not expecting anything, but just doing everything you can. And I think that the people there really gave me and instilled confidence and just helped me out with giving their experience that they had, which led me to be able to come in and just make an impact. And I didn't expect that, but it was so much fun. It was during COVID, so having a great team like that and the connection and doing all those big things, it was just something that I'll never forget. So.
And what was that like also playing during COVID? Because that's something I didn't know. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
How was that different
It was extremely different.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, we were actually, that was the time of the bubble. So
Okay.
yeah,
You guys got your little bubble experience.
yeah,
Look
exactly.
at that. Look at that.
I
Love
know,
that.
yeah, the little bubble experience. So it was just doing everything we could just to keep everyone safe and keep everyone healthy. So we had a bubble for a year. It definitely was something very hard to go through with already transitioning to your first year of college and first year of basketball. A lot of moving around, a lot of testing.
The little
and
nose swab.
Yes,
Oh,
the nose
I hated
swab.
those.
Yeah, it was disgusting, honestly, after doing it for a while. Yeah, but it was tough. It was definitely tough, but it definitely was a learning experience. And it was something that you will never forget, and also something that you will just learn a lot from. And yeah, it wasn't great, but I'm glad that we did it, because I would have never experienced going to the NCAA tournament that year, and I wouldn't have developed such a strong connection with my teammates. So yeah.
So you were in that bubble. You kind of had that really strong connection with your teammates. So it must have been hard in your decision to transfer. So what was going through your mind? Because you had so much success.
Yeah.
A lot of the articles I was reading, like, man, they were so happy to have you back. And then you shocked everybody. It's like, I'm out.
Yeah, yeah, it was something, that's probably why I waited so long to say that I was transferring. It was a lot of just like fighting with yourself, like, oh, I want something new. I don't think this is the place I want to be at. But you have those connections, so that definitely was something that made me question my decision. But I just realized that at this point, I needed to do what's best for myself, and they understood that too, and they wanted me to do what's best for me. And I just wanted a new experience. I wanted to get out of New York, and I came here, and
I mean,
yeah.
Boston is better.
Boston is
Whoa.
Boston might be better than upstate New York, but New York
Okay.
City has my heart. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
fair. So how much trust did you have to put in Melissa Graves? Because when you were first coming to BU, she was new just like you, but yet you had that trust, and you were one of her first big signings.
Yeah.
So what was that like, working
Yeah.
with her and her process of recruiting you?
It was definitely, it's always a risk doing something like that, but I had a close friend and a teammate of mine who was recruited by Coach G, and just visiting, I connected a lot with their staff, like Coach Ashley. She's no longer here, but she was somebody who I really connected with, and just I could see the opportunity that there was here. I love the campus, like I really like the girls, so like it was just a good, like it was definitely a risk, but it just felt right. So
And I know everybody's thinking it, but they won't ask. So did they give you guys the scooters?
no, they didn't. They didn't.
Because I always see you guys riding around.
We
okay.
do.
No helmets.
No.
No helmets.
Yeah, thank God, because I did not want to wear a helmet. But yeah, no, we didn't get the scooters. But yeah.
So when you first got here, you didn't have the immediate impact like you had when you were at Mars College. What was that transition like for you a little bit? I mean, obviously where you are now, phenomenal career. But it wasn't just like that when you were first getting started to come into your sophomore year.
Yeah.
What was it like coming into this new environment?
Yeah, it was just it was definitely a time for a lot of learning and just like a lot of growth. I think that year was one of the most important year that I had in college, just because it was a transition period for me, coming to a school like this and just having to change my game, like get used to this environment, get used to just playing in the Patriot League, and just kind of grow my game. And that year really was something that I had to focus on just to be where I wanted to be. So it was definitely a lot of just an experience of growth and building to get to where I wanted to be. So.
Well, definitely, because your junior year, you were first team All Eastern Conference and Athletic Conference. You also got the Mildred Barnes Award, and you did your first championship run. And you also got Defensive Player of the Year, first team All Patriot League. So a definite uptake kind of the sophomore year. What prompted your, I guess, rise to fame?
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. I think I started sacrificing a lot more for the sport. and just realizing the potential I had and the opportunity that I had going into my junior year. So it was just a lot of growth, a lot getting into the weight room, a lot of just extra work. And yeah, I think that was a big thing for me to get to where I was the next year.
So then you continued that success your senior year, but you also lost 2 players. You lost Sid and you also lost Morant. But yet you kind of, I'm not going to say like put the team on your back, but you continued, you made another championship run, you continued to get all these accolades. How'd you do it kind of now your senior season?
Yeah, it was definitely a process to get to where we were. We lost them too. We lost 5 seniors, which was
Good,
huge.
clean sweep, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So it was a lot of just by everyone kind of giving as much experience as we could and just knowing what it took to be where it was, like to be where we were at the year before. It was definitely kind of just like a whole complete different mindset change that I had to go into the year, especially with my senior year, wanting to move on and continue playing. I just wanted to be back where I was last year, but better.
Of course.
So yeah, it was definitely not easy coming in with a bunch of freshmen too. But I think everyone did a great job just understanding and like letting the older group lead and trusting them and trusting your teammates, creating that chemistry. Yeah, it was definitely, it was fun, but it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. I mean, nothing ever good is ever
exactly.
easy. But so also coming into your senior year, you were already the preseason player of the year. So kind of more so, let's say to start your junior year compared to your senior year, you already had like a target on your back. Do you like that kind of pressure? Because before the first layup, before the first shot, the target is on you. Like that's the player to beat. You're going to get double teamed, you got triple teamed a bunch of times. But do you like that, having that kind of pressure on you? Or are you used to it?
I mean, I am a little used to it just after this year, but I mean, I wouldn't say I love it, but it definitely allows me to execute. It allows me to push myself a lot more than I think I would if I didn't have that pressure. And it kind of forces me and instills confidence in me to like play how I like to play and just to play the best that I can, to do whatever I can to make my team win, because I want what's best and I want to be able to fill those shoes. Like it's a big shoe to fill, and I understand that, and I think it just gives me that confidence to just get to where I want to be. So
well, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, confidence is something that's like you can feel it. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
but you could definitely feel it. So you go into more of a leadership position your senior year when you have to take charge of kind of the freshmen. You know how it goes with freshmen. How does it work in the sense where a lot of your coaches have defined you in the past, you're kept to yourself, you're down to earth, but you do your talking on the court. So how do you take, up those leadership positions where you are someone that's, let's say, not as outgoing, you're more kept to yourself, but you need to be vocal to your teammates on the court so you guys can, have all the success you guys have on the court? How does that work?
Yeah, I think that was a main thing that I realized that I had to kind of change this year. I wouldn't say I'm extremely like vocal like as a group, but I like to try doing that, just taking the person individually or like having those conversations individually just with people, or just not being as vocal all the time, but sometimes leading by example, sometimes just understanding when to be vocal and when do I not need to be vocal. It's something that I'm still working on to this day. I do want to be a little bit more communicative with my leadership, but luckily this year I did have Alex, who is a little bit more of a vocal person, so we were able to kind of we both had that leadership role, but we stepped into it in different ways. Like she was a lot more vocal, a lot more communicative, and to the whole team. And I think that I was just more lead by example, like having those individual conversations, understanding how to lead certain people and to be there for certain people when they need that leadership. So something still working on, but yeah, that's kind of how I took on this year with being in that leadership position.
I love that. I love that. So you're talking about Alex Gennaros, correct?
Yes.
So in my research that I've been doing on you, again, I feel like I know you better than you know yourself, maybe. But you guys had like some type of bond on the court, you know? And you guys just always found each other so many beautiful plays that you guys conjured up together. Are you guys like super close off the court, or like how does that come about? Because anybody who watches you guys play, like you guys have a connection.
Yeah.
It's like anyone can see it, guys.
Yeah, me and AG are obviously super close.
AG.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I call Alex. Yeah, I can't. I have to stick with it.
It's good though.
But yeah, me and Alex are definitely really close off the court. I think with just the styles that we play and playing for so long, we definitely have that chemistry. And I also think that we both are great players. We both like work very hard. We put in a lot of dedication, and we see that from each other. So we were able to create that connection from that and kind of just feed off each other. Like we have this kind of, we don't have to talk to understand what we both know, like understand what we're both thinking, which is great to have with another teammate. And I think that just translates on the court. We have like a similar mindset of where we want to be basketball wise. And you know, I think it's just that's a really big key that translate that translate that chemistry onto the court and kind of lets us just play so well off of each other. But she's a great player too, so she definitely helped me with a lot of my assists this year, which I love. So I saw that and, you know, took advantage of it.
Of course, you got to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she did a great job in that, and given that at the Scarlet and White Awards, it seems like every other time you're going up there for the second year in a row. Mm-hmm. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is that, let's say for an award like the Mildred Barnes Award, right? It's a great award to win, but it also comes with speaking in front of everybody. So now you said something that you're kind of shy, kept to yourself. When you have to get up there again, now 2 years in a row, and give that speech in front of 600 student athletes, faculty, and staff, are you like, man, this is great? Or it's like, oh my goodness, here we go again. Talk me through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I feel like when I first get that honor again, get that award, I'm like so excited. I'm ready to go. And then it kind of hits me. I'm like, wait, I have to speak in public in front of the whole athletic department. It definitely gets me a little nervous. I would say public speaking is not, I like to keep my public things on the court instead of just like speaking. But
you know, public speaking is actually people's number one fear.
Yeah.
Like people, like besides fire, like spiders, like Dracula, like it's public speaking.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. But I don't know. I just kind of hope to get it over with. Honestly. Yeah. I'm not a big fan. But yeah, I just write my speech. I try my best to prepare for it and go up there and hope that I don't stutter. That's all, basically.
So speaking of assists, is that something Alex assists you with as well, or no? Writing the speech?
She has helped me with some things.
Yes, on and off the court, man,
she does. She has helped me for sure, and she helps me a lot with just like confidence, you know, kind of instilling that. Like she's there for me, so it's been good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So recapping, I guess your tenure at BU, what would be like your favorite moment? I know mine is their buzzer beater against Lowell. That was the one that was kind of everywhere. That's mine personally, and we definitely show that here on the wheel. But like, what's yours?
Mine probably is the senior night this year. We played Holy Cross. We were down. We came back.
That was one where you guys were down like what, 21 points?
We were down 20, 21, 20. And we were able to come back, and the last play was really fun to be a part of. It was just a great environment. It hit different because it was senior night and against Holy Cross too. So that was probably my most memorable experience for sure.
And your whole family was able to be there?
My whole family.
That's
like,
so special, man.
It was just so much fun. It was the best senior day ever. So
I love that. I love that. So speaking of outside BU athletics, do you frequent, let's say, trips to the beach or hanging out with friends? What's that about? Like, do you hate the cold that much, given that, or is it just like, man, it's like something about Miami?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Okay. I love the warm weather. I love to tan. You know, like being light skinned, I get really pale, so I try to like keep my tanness as much as I can.
Got you.
But yeah, I love the beach, and anytime that I can, because it's a long season, I like to take trips to just kind of reset and get my mind back to reality, you know, taking that time off and just taking care of myself, and then going to the beach, like hang out with friends is just something I love to do. So
I love that. So another fun fact about it, you're also a fellow Scorpio. That's good.
I'm a Sag.
You're a Sag?
Yes.
Dang, I got that wrong. We gotta, whoever wrote this, they're not doing a good job.
I'm a Sag, yes.
You're a Sag.
I'm a November Sag.
The November Sag. Yeah, so I'm a November Scorpio. Okay,
Yeah.
so you almost
I'm on the
missed
border.
out.
I'm on the border.
Almost
yeah.
missed out. Do you believe in, let's say, like you being a Sagittarius, like defining your personalities or anything like that, or no? You think it's bogus? Because I do personally.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely
hater
do.
right now.
You can hate. I definitely believe that. I think that I'm also always around Sag. My best friend is a Sag too, and I think we have a lot of similar personality traits. And I think just Sages give off a certain aura about them, and I think that from people who I've met, they definitely do match their signs. So.
Awesome. So also, you recently started dating. So my next question is, like, how important is having that, being an athlete, having that work-life balance, like making sure that you're loved, like, in all aspects of that?
It's extremely important. I think that it's great that it's kind of starting to like come to the light that importance is like something that's finally being talked about more, and just like focusing on your mental health and just focusing on enjoying all aspects of life and enjoying just everything that you can, and just finding people that really support you and people that really love you and want you to do the best. And I think just making sure that you surround yourself around those people and just enjoying life, having fun, going out with friends, taking like a night off, like that's extremely important. Rest days are important. Self-care, all of that.
There you go. Snap.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think that if you don't do that, you'll drive yourself crazy, and that just making sure to like realize sometimes it's stressful, sometimes you feel like overwhelmed, but just realizing that you need that time for yourself, and you need that time with people that you love. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. So now we're going to bring it back to what you have next in store.
Okay.
So you recently decided to transfer, not to any school, but to a powerhouse in NC State. They made a huge Final Four run.
Yeah.
What was your decision making kind of going about that? Because now it's it's your second time transferring?
It's my second time.
You know?
Yes, second and last.
Second and last?
Thankfully. But I went into the portal, like, you know, going into the portal, you really don't know what you're going to get. Like, you don't know. It's kind of just so hoping for the best.
Yeah.
So I went into a portal knowing that I wanted to just play at a Power 5 school my 5th year. Like, it was always part of the plan.
So this is something thought out.
Yes, this is something that
Guys, take notes. Take notes.
This is something that I actually like came in here telling, like, Coach G was aware that this was something that I wanted to do, and she was okay with that. She said, "Give me 3 years, and you can do whatever you want."
Wow.
Yeah, so
Dude,
that was
amazing.
really
I feel like
it
more
was
coaches
nice.
should do that.
It was really
That's so
great.
good.
Yeah, she was very okay with it, and she was very helpful in the process, which was nice. So I just went and I had my top schools. I wanted to visit a school before I committed. NC State was the first school that I committed to. It checked off all the boxes. I want to be somewhere where I can compete for a championship. And
What type of championship?
a Natty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the Natty. Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I went there, loved the people there, loved the culture, loved NC State, like the weather. Obviously, like I said, I love the beach, I love warm weather. It just checked off all the boxes, and I knew that I wanted to go there, so I just, right after I committed, and I didn't visit any other schools, but I'm very happy.
So it was like one and done?
It was one and done for me.
Match made in heaven.
It was.
Match
It really was. The recruiting process is something that's extremely stressful, and I felt like it was better this year, but yeah, I appreciated all the interest that I got, and all, like, speaking to all the coaches, like just meeting everyone. But once I went to NC State, I just realized that that's the best fit for me. So.
So when you're going through that process, when you're on the visit, who's in your corner? Like, who are you bouncing ideas off of? Like, let's say in your personal life, to help make sure that you're making the best decision for you and your career?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's your coaches. My AAU coach, like, who has been extremely helpful throughout my process of recruiting. He has a lot of connections, and he also is just somebody who's watched me and helped me throughout my whole career. So he was a great one. My parents, my brother is a huge women's basketball fan. So he actually was surprisingly
That's fire.
yeah,
That's lit.
he was helping me a lot. So yeah, they were huge helps.
So, in an article that I was reading again, it says that your coaches now at NC State, they're looking for you to have an immediate impact. So given that you're going to be in front of a large fan base, I saw that you posted the other day that the tickets are already all sold out.
Yeah, they sold
It's
out
different
within a few
than
hours.
definitely playing in the Patty League.
Yeah.
That comes with a different amount of pressure, expectation. Do you feel like you're more than ready for that?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely something that I knew committing and that I am ready for, and I wanted to go to a school where I was able to make a immediate impact and play for my 5th year. And obviously, you never know what to expect going into something like that, but I am going to just do everything that I can to prepare and just be where I need to be by that time, and just hope for the best. I think that all I can do is just practice, and all I can do is just mentally prepare myself and just play my game and, be there. And that's, So I'm as ready as I can be, and I'm going to try my best to get to there. So, yeah.
Phenomenal. So when you look back now, I guess, given that you did spend 3 years here at BU, what are you going to miss the most? Who are you going to miss the most? I know you're going to miss the cold weather.
Oh my God, yeah.
Please say no.
Yeah. No, definitely not. The wind tunnels, I definitely will not miss.
Oh my goodness, those are the worst.
Yeah, the worst.
The worst.
I'll probably I do love Boston though. I do think it's a nice city. It's fun. I will probably miss that a lot the most. There's a lot to miss. I'll miss the people that I've met, my teammates. I think is probably going to be the hardest thing to leave behind. Yeah.
And then my last question for people out there watching, what keeps your love for the game so fervent? Because now this is the 3rd big change that you've had in your career, but you're more than ready to do it. You're excited. I can see it on your face here. What keeps that passion burning?
I think that it's just really devoting time into yourself. I think just putting in so much work and just seeing the effects, the positives that come out of that. I think that's something that really excites me and really just keeps me wanting to keep going and keep pushing, keep working. I think also just I have a great support group around me who really dive into me and really help me, support me through anything I need. And I think that altogether that just helps me just continue to play and continue the love for the game and just do everything that I can. So yeah, I would say a combination of both of those.
I love that. I love that. So for any, let's say, the young boys, girls watching out there who's watching this interview and wants to be where you are right now, what advice would you give them?
Oh, I mean, I would just say stay the course, devote as much time as you can and just continue doing it and diving into that love, into that passion. A lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of sacrifice, but it will be worth it in the end. So just staying the course and, keep on putting in that work.
Wow, Caitlin, such an inspiring story. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Can't wait to see what you accomplish next year over at NC State. Be sure to keep up with all things Caitlin Weimar on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Until next time, I'm your host, Tyler Johnson.